Hello everybody, welcome back to It's Current Year for another fan submission. We've got friend of the channel, Saltier the New, back for another one today against RTK Honeynut, who is playing the Greenskins. Salty's rocking the Warriors of Chaos. He's gone for a pretty metal build here, and yeah, we've got some Chosen, which I love to see. So, rocking the Greenskins over here, Honeynut's forces, a couple of Forest Goblin Spider Riders just on the flanks here for a bit of, probably uses a bit more of a backline sweep, having a look at the build here, but we do have also Morgrom's Mangy Marauders just for a bit of armor piercing on the skirmish cav. They're really good ROI generally, but they're pretty much auto include here, just because they do allow you to plink down a few extra targets with the Warriors of Chaos being quite a well-armored faction. Orc Boys and Black Orcs in the front row. You love it. The lads are here. They're gonna crump some stuff. 3 Black Orcs actually, and 3 Orc Boys. Behind them in the secondary line is the 8-peak Loonies. Probably the best spot for them as well, because they don't take charge, opposing charge damage, and they can sort of pile into a combat second and then get their fanatic charges off. 2 Night Goblin Archers, a unit of Stone Trolls, as well as just some Goblins back here. And leading the force, we have a giant River Troll Hag, just with Spirit Leech, and it looks like she's taking the Power Stone and Mither. And leading the force, the General Grom himself. So it looks like he has taken Lucky Banner, because why wouldn't you take the Lucky Banner, as well as the Great Unis here and Language of the Boys for its aura effects. And turning our attention now to Salty. Let's maybe put on a bit of a slow play. 3 units of Marauder Horsemen, 1 unit of Horsemasters out here as well as some Hounds. I think he has got the same on the other flank, and yeah, two Horsemen, 1 Horsemaster. Over here we have basically just a pretty cheap front line, Chaos Marauders for the bodies, the shields, and for 375 gold, not bad stats, honestly. They're one of the better sort of chaff units in the game, I guess. And behind them, as we said before, Chosen. We're going full heavy metal. Now, they're going to have to do some work here. They've got some good targets. Obviously, they will beat Black Orcs. Assuming the Black Orcs only get 1 wire off, they do beat Black Orcs quite significantly, but we're going to have to be a little bit aware of the 8-peak Loonies with their Fanatics charge. We also have a nice unit, not Coblin Chariot. Coblin Chariots suck. Chaos Chariots, though, very good, very cost effective, and I think there's always room for 1 or 2 in any build, particularly when you're going sort of a cheaper, wider front line, because they do help the infantry fight. But even when you've got them alongside Chosen, I mean, for 750 gold, they are pretty decent, and they are quite tanky with their armor values. Leading the force, we have the Ever Chicken himself, Sartorial. He has taken Searing Doom as well as Final Transmutation. Is he not brought Arcane Conduit? Oh my goodness, Salty. What an absolute affront to Total War Warhammer. Sartorial without Arcane Conduit, so probably only going to see 1 Final Transmutation. And if it's an overcast one, it's going to be pretty thirsty on the Winds of Magic. So cutting a little bit of cost, I guess, but yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Probably not the ideal way to run it. You could probably find the cost for that quite comfortably, just with a few little changes. But Spirit Leech coming down early here onto the Horsemen, dropping a few models and doing some damage. But they're going to launch a few Black Orcs, a few jabs into the Black Orcs. Now, I'm a big fan of bringing Plague of Rust here. There's no Plague of Rust. Obviously, Searing Doom and Plague of Rust are quite cheap. But Plague of Rusted Black Orcs, just down to 50 armor. It just means stuff like the jabs can actually put a fair bit of work into them, actually start to get to the point where they lose models reasonably well. But the Night Goblin Archers have made themselves known. They've got a nice volley off into these Horsemen. Horsemasters here, flinging away still at the jabs. And the Hounds are going to be countercharged by the Goblin Spider Riders, as these Marauder Horsemen watch on and continue throwing their javelins, although I don't know if they're obstructed on that hill. But the front lines have met Orc Boys and Black Orcs clattering into Marauders as the Chariots hit home. Sartorial is getting a little bit pretty eager here, and wants to be careful, because the Stone Trolls and Grom together have the mass to pin him in. Sartorial has some fantastic animations for getting out of combat, and obviously some very, very decent mass by himself as well. But pulling back through his infantry there, I like that. And Grom is dragging dragging the final transmutation through the Stone Trolls and the Black Orcs. So some good use of the chariots here to pin him in, because obviously with the cast being centered on Grom can run away, and Grom can basically move others out of the effect zone on his own behalf. So good use of the chariots there to pin him in and make all three of these units take the brunt of the damage. But the Black Orcs over here haven't done so well. The Chosen, as we said, done a big number on them and probably got some good damage in from the Horsemasters and the Horsemen on the Overwatch. But Night Goblin Archers are going to fling their poisoned arrows away, and these Goblins really need to come up and buffer the line now. And this side of the battlefield going pretty well for Salty. Sartorial might be able to cause some terror outs. This side, however, going very well for Honey Nut. The Stone Trolls are over here. Haven't lost any unit models left, so you know, full ability to regen there, and the Marauder Horsemen are having to pull back now with the Overwatch fire from the Night Goblin Archers. Grom and the Stone Trolls obviously just riding together so they can you know, get his leadership buffs, and I guess immune psychology is only really going to be relevant when Sartorial's in the picture. But a few arrows here, a few goblins. Needs to try and pull these Night Goblin Archers out, because they are going to be significant to possibly ward off the Horsemen. But where have we got this other unit? Where's the other unit of Chosen? What's happened to them? I know there was one unit over here fighting quite well. No, they're both the units of Chosen are pretty much offline. So no, here's this unit. It's fighting alongside the chariots. Stone Trolls coming in here, and this is not a bad matchup for the Stone Trolls. They will do a decent amount of damage. They will take a fair bit of damage in return. And looks like we've got a little game of bump cars going on over here. So Grom is, well, they've been mithered, so he might be able to pull out of here now, but he's sort of just happy to stand and fight at the moment. And Fanatic cast going down through the Goblin, from the ROR Night Goblins, really doing a big number on the Chosen. They've dropped to 24 unit models. The Overwatch fire from the Night Goblins, it's going to be shut down with some good cycle charge, or some good recharge in here by the Horsemen and Horsemasters. But the periphery looks good for the Warriors of Chaos. Everything on the outside, but this sort of little center pocket of Black Orcs, Grom, Stone Trolls is still reasonably healthy, and everything that's coming back in is pretty tattered. As we said before, I think we've already had one unit of Chosen probably been, oh, maybe they got Fanaticked off with the first Fanatic cast from the AP Loonies. But the Javelins are going to have to do a fair bit of work now. We're going to have to do a fair bit of cycle charging. This is really big and a massive win for Salty here, because these Stone Trolls have been somehow separated from Grom, and they're going to be chased off the battlefield now between two units of Marauder Horsemen. And that really hurts. Look, heaps of healing, 10 unit models, basically full capacity to make use of their regen. That's a really big pickup for him. Likewise, these Black Orcs. So yeah, the outskirts of the battle looking very good at the moment for the Chaos. Still got some chariots as well, which may be handy just to run through these Black Orcs. Just, you know, even possibly clear off the Night Goblins. They still have the potential to use their Fanatics, because they are still above 50% unit models. Potentially not for long, because they are on 61 out of 120. And we do have some Chosen coming back into the fight. Sartorial out here has taken a lot of damage, but the Black Orcs and look like just some regular Orc boys here are going to be routed off, and you dare say these Marauder Horsemen will be able to see them off the battlefield completely. So let's take a bit of an overarching look, and it looks like there's a bit of a smattering of green flags here and there, but the black flag of Chaos is looking pretty strong at this point, and the River Troll Hag needs to actually commit to combat here before this River Troll Hag is potentially allowed to rout out of their range and come back, because even just a free Spirit Leech before she breaks again, looks like Salty has actually seen that. So the River Troll Hag is off the ground and out of the picture. So 8 peak Loonies aren't going to be able to use any more Fanatics. Black Orcs here may rout. Grom probably sitting a little bit idle, needs to come back in here. Here come the bump cars once more. They've done some good work. Every time we've gone in for a look, they seem to be putting in a good shift. So 72 kills on them, and definitely a little bit of juice left in the tank for them, although Grom might have something to say about that. And Grom's presence does manage to stabilize the Black Orcs, and obviously the Night Goblins here are unbreakable. And Sartorial and the Horsemen now just basically yeah, this is a good play. Just get all this off the field. The Morgrub's Magi Marauders might be able to just be routed by, because the Marauder Horsemasters are a lot stronger than them and they're bearing down upon them, although they're probably fast enough to get away from them. So, what have we got left? Let's have a look at the battlefield. Marauder Horsemen, out of ammo. Chariots on Death's Door, but they're doing a job here, chasing them off. I'm pretty sure Sartorial's not going to be... He's definitely not going to be able to get a Overcast final transmutation, but we may see a regular cast. Grom is very healthy, however, and Grom can probably solo what's left. And with the poison from the Night Goblins here, some, just a handful of remaining Black Orcs just to maybe absorb a charge or two. I don't know if these Marauder Horsemen have decided they don't want to play anymore. They've just routed with nothing near them, but the cycle charging obviously will be in Salty's favour. He does have a fair few mobile assets left, and these Black Orcs may be routed off by this, just the shock damage on the charge, as the Night Goblins will fight on. Might be able to pin Grom in place, and once these two units are dealt with, obviously Grom can't cycle charge, he has to sit in combat, but the great one is Hero's Pop, so his leadership, base weapon damage, and melee attack is pretty strong at the moment, getting some nice juice. And if he can extricate himself from this little blob, I think he might want to go after Sartorial, because the balance of power is actually liking the Greenskins at the moment, regardless of the fact that there are definitely more black flags on the field for the Chaos. Grom is making up a vast yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. He's pretty much all the balance of power at the moment. Sartorial is not a bad combatant, but not really in Grom's class. Even as a Chariot Lord, he is an exceptional duelist. And Salty's doing the right thing here, pulling him away, giving him at least the mass of these horsemen to potentially run behind. But I think sensing that the game can pretty much be finished here in one fell swoop, Honeynut is going to come after Grom. Nice use of this nice... these are actually Horse Masters, so their stats are a little bit better. They can probably put a few hits on Grom, but we're just going to have to see if he can grind it out here. Grom, I think this is a big mistake. I don't think the attack order needed to be given, and with 800 damage left, obviously being unbreakable counts for a fair bit here, but Grom is loose, and this spells danger. The bumper cars weren't there to save him this time, and with Sartorial taking a massive hit, I think that's actually pushed the rest of the Chaos Force into army losses. So that's a disaster. That was a definite misplay by Salty. He does, however, have a final transmutation, and it looks like there are no. I thought these were actually Chaos flags in the distance, though Morgrub's Magi Marauders were still on the field, and Sartorial Overcast. Look at this thing. Look at this guy down here. Yep, Sartorial, the Overcast from that final transmutation has actually ended him, and that's the game. He wasn't going to be able to win that anyway. That final transmutation wasn't going to kill Grom. And I think he only had 200 HP left, so actually got some really good value. Yeah, two nice final transmutations there, and just a lot of disruption. Like we said, good attack animations, good mass, can pull through infantry. Doesn't get it's hard to pin him down, very hard to pin him down and actually kill him, but. Grom's had a pretty good day out. River Troll's done her job. We saw quite a few Spirit Leeches come down. Frontline held together reasonably well for the Greenskins. The Night Goblin ROR, we did see one of the Fanatic casts, but I think they must have got a second one down on these. Yeah, they have to have gotten their second one down on the Chosen in the early game. We must have missed that, but yeah, those Chosen really, oof, that hurts. I know all too well. The pain of losing Chosen for no real value in this matchup. But yeah, given they've used both their Fanatics, I thought they may have got more cost than that, but they stuck it out to the end and really gave Grom a lot of support there. Black Orcs actually not doing too well. Goblin Archers doing reasonably. Spider Riders doing okay. Stone Troll's doing okay. Grom's pretty much put the game on his back here, and I guess really the Fanatic casts here have really pulled the teeth out of this Warriors of Chaos list. So there's a lot of hitting power in those two Chosen. Like we said, they will trade. I mean, they'll beat Black Orcs quite handily, actually, even with a War going down. So yeah, that's pretty crucial use of them here by Honey Nut. So both the Chariots did their job. I mean, we saw a nice use of the mass pin there to keep the final transmutation on a couple of pretty high value units. So that was a nice little bit of play. Whether it was intentional or not, that's irrelevant. It was really good. And the Marauders, yeah, not faring too great, but yeah, really nice battle here by Salty and Honey Nut. Grom carrying the day once again, and Salty was very, as his name might suggest, very salty about the Chosen and the way that they, he says they cost him the win there. But that's sort of the case, can be the case against Greenskins with Chosen, just in general, all variants of Chosen. The Fanatic change recently was a good change, particularly for a unit like Chosen in this matchup, because it is harder for multiple Fanatic casts to be used. Chosen prior to those changes were a very, very risky pick here because obviously the 8 AP Cloonies find their way into most Greenskin lists, but even just regular Night Goblin Fanatics, I mean, they get their, assuming you get a single cast, you only need one cast of their Fanatic charge for them to get their cost back. If the Warriors bring, even just regular Chaos Warriors, but Chosen as in particular, there's over 1k of gold being spent there, and it's a great way for Night Goblins to pretty much make their cost back and then some in the space of about 10 seconds. So a nice battle nonetheless. Couldn't quite squeak it out, but well played to Honey Nut. Very good play there with Grom, and yeah, just a nice list in general. Still a very strong faction in the Greenskins despite the recent nerf. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll be back with more soon. Take care.